Understanding narcissistic behavior is an important first step in protecting yourself. But it's a mistake to think that knowledge alone is enough to shield you from their harmful effects. Many people assume that once they understand how narcissists operate, how they manipulate, blame, and undermine others, they can remain unaffected. They believe strong boundaries and awareness will insulate them from the toxicity. But this is a dangerous illusion. The truth is, no matter how much insight you have into narcissism, spending too much time in close proximity to a narcissist will inevitably wear you down. Repeated exposure through conversations, emotional entanglement, or even just being in the same environment gives the narcissist ongoing opportunities to test, adapt to, and eventually penetrate your defenses. They watch, learn, and subtly shift their tactics to keep you off balance. Over time, even the most emotionally intelligent person can begin to feel drained, confused, and increasingly anxious. You'll find yourself constantly working to reinforce your boundaries, always adjusting and re-strategizing to protect your mental space. This effort is exhausting. You're never truly at ease. You're always anticipating the next jab, the next emotional ambush, the next mind game. Narcissists thrive by making those closest to them feel like they're at fault. They blame you for problems they caused or for things that aren't even problems to begin with. They may not always do this outright. Sometimes the blame comes in passive-aggressive comments, in sarcastic jokes, or in subtle gestures that chip away at your confidence. The end result is the same. You begin to question yourself, feel inadequate, and carry emotional burdens that aren't yours to carry. At the core of this behavior is deep, unprocessed shame. Narcissists are often consumed by feelings of inadequacy and unworthiness that they cannot bear to face. So they project these emotions onto others. Instead of dealing with their own pain, they make others feel it for them. This projection becomes their survival mechanism, an unconscious strategy to avoid their own emotional distress by transferring it to someone else. This is why even brief contact with a narcissist can be damaging. Think of it like walking into a heavily polluted environment or a gas-filled room. It doesn't matter if you know the air is toxic. You can't hold your breath forever. You might bring protection, like emotional oxygen tanks, in the form of boundaries or coping strategies, but those only last for so long. Prolonged exposure will still harm you. Therefore, interaction with narcissistic individuals must be limited and carefully managed. If you must engage with them, such as in family or workplace situations, keep it brief, surface level, and emotionally detached. Any ties should be easily severed if needed. Deep connections with such individuals are risky because they feed off your emotional availability, turning your openness into ammunition. If you've already been entangled with a narcissist for a long time, you may find that your sense of self has been eroded. You might feel like nothing you do is good enough, like you're always at fault, always falling short. But that internal narrative is a reflection of their influence, not your reality. It's a symptom of long-term exposure to someone who has systematically offloaded their shame onto you. In the end, the more time you spend around a narcissist, the more you're likely to internalize their dysfunction as your own. That's why awareness isn't enough. Distance is crucial. Protecting yourself means not just understanding the game, but refusing to keep playing it.